I found out my 31 male ex-wife, 27 female, cheated on me while she was pregnant. Now she says I'm emotionally manipulative because I'm cold and distant during custody switches. Plus update. Last year, while she was 6 months pregnant, I, 31 male, discovered that my now ex-wife, 27 female, had been cheating on me. The affairs occurred both before and after the pregnancy. She had reasons and excuses for not getting a divorce. She wanted to be together and have couples counseling. I advised her to go ahead and receive treatment, but infidelity was a deal breaker for me, so we divorced. She moved back in with her parents, who had ample space to build up a nursery, and gave my ex the guest room since the home was mine when we married. My wife has our daughter Sunday, Wednesday, and the original plan was for her to drop her off at daycare on Wednesday morning, and my nanny would pick her up around noon and bring her back to my house, where my daughter would stay with me until Saturday night or Sunday morning, depending on what worked best for everyone. Then my ex stated she feared the daycare was misplacing some of the items she was bringing in for her to bring to my house, since our daughter had come home a few times without certain bottles or her binky. So ex stated she wanted to drop our kid off at our home straight to ensure that all of her belongings arrived at my place. So she began bringing her up from daycare and dropped her off here during her breaks. On Wednesdays and Fridays, I work from home. Nonetheless, I'm working. It was usually about 12:30 when ex started dropping Nadine down at my place. Since I was in my office working, my daughter's nanny, a wonderful elderly woman from Barbados, not sure of her age but I'd estimate late 50s, 60s, was the one to open the door for my ex and remove my daughter and her belongings. When she arrived, ex said that she wanted to meet with me personally. She felt like she was dumping a lot on the nanny and didn't want her to forget to tell me anything, she said. I'd be lying if I claimed I didn't have animosity and hate against my ex. But I don't want my daughter to see that. So when I speak to my ex, I try to be as emotionally equal as possible, just talking about topics that are relevant to my daughter and nothing else. Nadine had a dirty diaper at today's drop-off, so her nanny brought her upstairs to change her. When my ex inquired how I was, I told her I was fine and thanked her before beginning to go back to my office. She sees herself out, she used to live there. You know, I'm getting really sick of your trash, she says as I walk away. I didn't even get a chance to ask her what she was talking about before she began flipping out, screaming I was emotionally manipulating her by being cold and aloof, that she shouldn't be punished eternally for her sins, and that hating her is the same as hating my kid. I let her finish ranting before telling her to go. I believe my best option is to avoid further interaction with her and to stop seeing her for drop-offs. But I was hoping to get some other viewpoints or ideas on the subject from you if you have any edit. I took a paternity test after discovering she cheated, and my baby is mine. Update. There were several excellent recommendations. Someone recommended a website called Talking Parents, which I feel will be a valuable resource for my ex-wife and myself. The thing I have to constantly telling myself is that the unpleasant and betrayed sentiments I have for my ex-wife will most likely dissipate in 5 or 10 years, but a hostile relationship between the two of us would have a long-term effect on our daughter. As a result, I met down with my ex-wife and taped a talk regarding our predicament. I was really honest and forthright with her. I informed her that although I still had bad sentiments for her as my ex-wife, as the mother of my kid, I would always treat her civilly and politely, but that we needed to set limits. I informed her that we're going back to our original plan of dropping her off at daycare in the mornings and having my nanny pick her up in the afternoons. We'll convey which products should be delivered home with her through the internet, so the nanny can double-check that she has everything. My ex-wife isn't pleased. I believe she came to my home in the hopes of reconciling, but I informed her gently, but unequivocally, that it was never going to happen, but I would want to see our relationship blossom as fantastic co-parents of a lovely young girl, and maybe one day friends. Story 2. My wife cheated and got pregnant. We want to reconcile and raise the child together. The title speaks for itself. This is all still very new to me. The kid was born in August, and I just found out about the affair last weekend. I don't feel the need to delve into all the intricacies of the scenario, but if required, I will submit an edit with a detailed account. My first inclination was to distance myself from everyone involved. She left my house, and all of her belongings were removed. I planned a divorce and sold my house. That was the first 3 days after learning about the affair. I've had time to reflect and discuss with my wife since then. Speak with counselors and examine my soul. She feels sorry and worried that any effort at reconciliation will be rejected by me. She accepts all responsibility, and has said that she is prepared to go to any extent to fix what we have. I still have a deep attachment to the kid. Throughout the pregnancy, I was led to think that the baby was mine. After delivery, it became clear that the infant had none of my physical characteristics. I was becoming skeptical when I was eventually informed. None of this alters my feelings about my kid. Unfortunately, because of her quick reflexes, she will take some time to totally separate. The partner in the affair is manipulative and dominating. He also claims to desire custody of his children. I am awaiting word from my lawyer on my choice to reconcile. I feel like I'm going on and on. So let me get to the point. What should I do? Edit. I'll be meeting with my counselor today, and I'm expecting to acquire some further insight. Her falsehoods, as well as the gravity of the situation, are not lost on me. And certainly, she is capable of manipulating my emotions. It seems to me that my desire to reassemble my family is wrong. Some responses to frequently asked questions. Why bother posting about something so self-evident? I'm at a loss. I need some proof that what I want to achieve is feasible. However, the general assumption is that it will not. Why come here if you've already made up your mind? So far, the only choices I've taken have been to withdraw myself from the situation, protect myself, and give myself time. The most recent choice was to take some time to think things through and grasp my alternatives. This post exemplifies my inability to reconcile and raise the kid. What I desire does not imply that I have made a choice. Why do you want to reconcile? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm sure some of you may understand and relate to how much I enjoyed my life. I adored the vision of our future. It's now destroyed, yet I still want what I had. By contacting an experienced group, I am receiving information that I would have only gotten via experience. Have you got a paternity test? Yes. The findings will be available to me this week. Update. According to the birth certificates, I'm the father. The DNA test findings will be available to me this week. My attorney indicated that if a DNA test proves that I'm not the father, surrendering my parental rights would be reasonably straightforward and fast. All reasonable concerns. I've been in touch with an attorney since the day I learned about the affair. You are correct. Every time he is involved, I am triggered. At the moment, I'm really contemplating the suggestions you provided. I should obtain a divorce and let her show me that things will be different this time. It may take some time, but safeguarding my prospective future without her is much more important than suffering the misery of her affair. It's always a good idea to start afresh. Fortunately for me, I will be able to reconstruct my life far more easily than she would. To answer your questions in the correct sequence. My feelings are too jumbled for me to know if I could or couldn't. If I'm compelled to respond, I'll reply maybe. His participation exacerbates the situation. For me, his long-term commitment is a deal breaker. The affair ended because, in her words, she realized she couldn't find what she was looking for in an affair. I understand. It's not a good response. She says the romance stopped when we discovered she was pregnant. She and AP approached me when I got home after a day excursion to another city. Yes, she has informed me. She, like AP, thought the kid may have been mine. Obviously, this raises the issue of whether I would have known about the affair at all. For around 30 days after delivery, she passed the kid off as mine. Yes, I am. I have a fantastic support system. I am well taken care of by my family and wonderful friends. I'm sticking around with those who won't allow me self-destruct. There is no dangerous drinking. I have both emotional and legal support. I haven't taken any choices that will improve or worsen my circumstance. I'm taking my time right now to think things out.